Right, Ed here again. Wanted to go over my idea of what's causing the Mandela effect. Or not really what's causing the Mandela effect, just my ideas and theories about what might be causing the Mandela effect, or what might not be causing the Mandela effect, I guess. The let's Bluebeard. I can't remember the whole thing. Bluebeard 2011 or something like that. Just recently popped up. I didn't know about him until um, he popped back up in this whole controversy of his um, going, thinking people are attacking him, I guess, and him attacking other people. Um, I heard about him before that, and then I guess during it, over the past week or so. His theory is that we're moving physically from one reality to another. If that is the case, which it doesn't seem right to me, because if that is the case, then where does residual come from? Residual, did it travel with us? According to him, nothing travels with us, but if that's the case, then how is the residual in this reality? Um, in Because of that, I feel that it's more of a collapsing of realities that's happening. Um, as I've said, I believe in my intro video, the first video I posted, I'm of the opinion that we're merging realities. It could be CERN involved. Um, Certainly, CERN may be speeding the process up. I do believe that with the internet and communication and everything else, that because people are communicating and starting to share things that they've noticed, that this has actually been going on for a lot longer than what we may realize. Because I've heard other people, when I was young, talking about, well, this is different and that is different. So I think that something's maybe been happening for a while, and I don't know what's causing it. I do think CERN may have something to do with the speeding up of it. Um, I do have a theory of my own that I've had for a long time. It kind of, if you, I'm not, I think we've covered this already. I'm not a religious person, but I am a very spiritual person. I believe in God. Uh, but my God is basically the creator of everything, whether it's the air, the water, the stones. God is everything. He's the energy that creates the universe. Um, we're all connected, whether it be the rocks or us. Is in my understanding, and this is what I've come to understand from all my research, is that basically this reality is all from one source of living energy that, because of our interaction with it, becomes what it is. Uh, we don't. This video isn't about quantum physics, so I don't really want to get into all those. But if what's happening is CERN is smashing these atoms together, and in a lot of religious texts, especially the Christian Bible, it very much says what's above is below. Um, to me, that means that the smallest particles are still connected to us. Um, Scientists, quantum physicists, have actually split an atom, took two pieces, and moved them hundreds of miles apart, and then spun one, and the other one spun with it. So there is a connection of some sort between those things. Uh, if you take and smash something, destroy it, then it's going to cause an effect on everything that it's connected to. And in my opinion, that's probably what is speeding up the Mandela effect, is because CERN is smashing these atoms. Now, if you go with the so above, so below, then look at it like here's a kind of a similarity. If you ever seen the movie Men in Black, the cat's pendant was a galaxy, about the size of a marble. who's to say that the particle isn't its own galaxy? Just because we can't see into it doesn't mean that's not what it is. Um, if CERN is smashing these things, they could be collapsing other realities and they could be merging into our reality. That's the only way I can come up with an explanation of why we have what we have as far as with the Mandela effect. It's kind of, if you've followed quantum physics, when you start out, every choice you make, creates a reality, because in another reality, you made the opposite choice. Or, if there was multiple choices, you picked one out of the multiple, but in other realities, you picked, those other possible choices. It's quantum physics. It confuses me. I like it. I like to research it, but I don't understand a lot of it. So again, this is just my theory, and I may be completely wrong, but it makes sense to me that if what they're doing is causing other realities to blank out of existence by doing what they're doing, that they're merging, because it's the only way I can, in my head, wrap it around the fact that we have residual effects, such as the Darth Vader toy or Christmas ornament that Unirock had showed, where it said, "Luke, I am your father." Well, if he never said that, then why do we have a toy that says it? Why do we have all these people who remember it that way? If it's not the merging realities, how come we have so many people who this has always been the reality? They're always been, no, I am your father, instead of Luke, I am your father. But if you're merging realities and the predominant soul, whatever you want, the energy of us, our consciousness, if the predominant one that shows up in the other reality still remembers everything the other way, then we're not right, they're not right, we're not wrong, they're not wrong. Our reality was different than theirs. We've merged into this reality where things ain't the same, in my opinion. But what do you do with it? What we don't know what's causing it. I just recently posted a video that was with David Wilcox and Corey Good, and what they thought might be causing the Mandela effect. But even they said they haven't got a clue. And according to them, they're in communication with higher beings and that, and we can't even understand what's going on in this current reality. If you don't believe in what Corey Good and David Wilcox talk about, I don't know what to tell you. I basically will watch videos from just about any source, and I try to listen to it with my heart and pick out what sounds right to me. And there's a lot of stuff that Corey Good and David Wilcox have been talking about that makes sense to me. It resonates. So they're one of the people that I generally try to listen to, and they've always had a very positive message. There's been many of people who have tried to discredit David Wilcox and Corey Good's information. No one's been able to do it. I mean, you got people, I got this video proof, but they can't produce it. They got, this proof, but it's very edited looking, you can tell something has been edited in Photoshop on it. Do I believe everything they're saying? No, because some of it does sound a little out there for me. Are they misinformation? Possibly. But you got to remember, with everybody that does misinformation, there is a grain of truth in there. The only way misinformation works is if they give you some of the truth and then lead you to believe in a different way. And discernment is probably the biggest thing we have as individuals. Is you look at it, you listen to it, you see how it makes you feel inside, and you take what you feel right about and kind of disregard the rest. It's kind of what I've done throughout life, especially with religion, and I've gone to many different churches just trying to get answers. Um, if you look at the Mandela effect, or not the Mandela effect, if you look at our lives and how quantum physics talks about uh, every time we make a choice, we create paths. Then it's kind of like a diamond. Here's an image. And you start off at the base, and then you move up, make a choice, follow a path, make choice, follow a path, make choice, follow another path, until you wind up at your ultimate goal. Um, we all have, I believe, a destiny. We all have some plateau we're trying to reach. And if you put any faith in the written scriptures of any kind, it's we're told God knows everything that is, was, and will be, but we have free will. Well, again, the only way that makes choice to me is if you look at it kind of like a diamond, where you start at the bottom, like I just showed you, and you choose your path, but at the top, it's always flat. So that's our ultimate goal, is to reach that whatever we're here for, is that flat plateau. Each path we can take is ultimately going to lead us to that end goal. We start off in one point, we end in one point. There's many, many paths to get to it. So our free will is how we're going to get there. Um, a lot of people, especially recently, have been talking about, the reincarnation, and we're here to learn, a specific thing. We put ourselves here. I can believe in this. These are things that kind of resonate with me, and it's the only way that it makes sense that God knows everything that is, was, and will be, in that aspect of, well, he knows where we're starting, he knows where we're ending, but it's our choice of what path we take to get there. That's our free will. Um, we can go up and down, that diamond pattern as many times as we want until we figure out what it is that we need to learn. That makes sense to me. So this is me just basically giving you guys my theory, is that, when CERN does what it's doing or something, if it is creating a collapse of another reality and it's merging into ours, then basically they're taking the faces of the diamond and just removing faces where there was choices. So that in my original remembered reality, it's different than this reality. But that's just because of the choices that have been made from that point to this point. A lot of people I've talked to have, about the Mandela effect, have, the older they are, the weirder it gets sometimes. Where the younger people that notice it, it's not as much of a shock to them because it's only been small things here and there, and whereas the older people who get into it, usually it's a much wider range of changes that they do notice. Um, a, a lot of them are wording changes, and I know, at least for me, most of them I thought were just branding. The company said, okay, well, we're going to lose the dash and Kit Kat and stuff like that. But you look at the facts of this reality, and it's always been that way. So most of the stuff that I've noticed over the past, I don't know, 15, 20 years, that were subtle changes, I always thought were just branding changes. But they weren't. That's how they say they were. Um, Branding changes, or changes in that kind of thing, are very hard to prove or disprove. But again, if there is residual proof where people have a photo of something that was the original way, or they have a recording of something that was the original way, then there has to be more to it than us shifting reality. If we're only shifting reality, we wouldn't bring that with us. Just makes sense to me. So the Bluebeard or Blackbeard or whatever his name is, um, I listen to his videos. He makes a lot of, interesting points, but a lot of what he says doesn't resonate with me because it doesn't make a lot of sense. If there is just our physical or our spiritual or whatever part moving through realities, or even if it's us physically moving through realities, according to his idea, we don't take anything with us except us. We can't take anything from there to here. If that's the case, how did the residual get here? It doesn't make sense to me. So, in my opinion, as far as I can tell, it has to be some kind of merging of realities. Otherwise, there's no way for the proof that it was one way, at least for us, to show up here. I don't believe that these people are, making shit up about, Unirock's Christmas ornament, or the people who found the Berenstain Bears, where it's actually the Berenstain, not the Berenstain. But then after they find it, a lot of times it causes it to change. That's another one that I really don't understand. But I still have to go back to the fact that if we're here and there's residual proof here, then it has to be some kind of merging. There's no other way it makes sense to me. Otherwise, how did those residuals get here? So, anyway, would love to hear your comments. So please like and comment, and please subscribe to the channel. I am still working on trying to set up a group chat to where we can have some roundtables. So stick around. Hopefully I can get that going soon and get some other brains in on this, because just left to my own devices, I'm going to be wrong a lot, just like everyone else. We need to actually work together as groups and start trying to, nail down some of these things. So until next time, I'm Ed. See you then.